came in and asked me about, a young person came in and asked me about being a chef, I would definitely tell them to really think long and hard about it, because it's it can be a thankless job, especially in the beginning, and it takes a lot of hard work to actually get to where, the hard work pays off. So it's not just a job, it's a career and a complete lifestyle change. It's not, you don't go to work, clock in, clock out. I mean, it is a complete lifestyle change, I'm not
going to get started on food TV. I'm not allowed to curse in this interview, right?
You can curse.
Food TV is entertainment, and that's cool. Entertainment is good. Entertainment is, we all love entertainment. But what we do in the hospitality industry is also entertainment. Because if a chef doesn't have charisma, he or she is just going to be a mundane chef for the rest of his or her life. So it's important that we have something to give to people and that we interest people. The passion thing, I have a problem with that word. Everybody's talking about passion. Why am I qualified to do this? Why am I qualified to be successful because I have passion? No. Passion, as I say, gets us in trouble. Passion is not usually a good thing. Passion is good because it keeps us on our feet to work 16 hours a day or 18 hours a day. But skill and education is what's going to ultimately make us a success, not passion.
It was not so fun at the beginning. When you start and you say, hey, it looks fun. No, it was not, because a long time ago you start an apprenticeship. It's tough, you work, you think that school is difficult. When you start to work, you realize that, the school was Disneyland compared to a real life. At the beginning, I was working in my first position. I was an apprentice in a bakery. The guy was not doing much pastry, just more bread. But pastry, a lot of apple tart. Alors here you say apple pie, but for us it's a tart with apple that you have to arrange very well in a rosette shape and everything. And I was peeling so many apple, and the guy was coming with a box of apple. Stefan, you have to peel that, okay? Because we have a lot of apple tart this weekend. Apple tart was the specialty, I guess, of the bakery. And okay, at the beginning you come from the school, you are 16 years old. You say, my goodness, we have to peel so much. One or two, I'm okay, but a box of apple. But after you get used to it, and you have to go fast, and yes, we have to do a lot of apple tart, and you cut everything by hand. You make the dough, you make the compote, everything. But that's how you start. You have to do a lot, and a lot of. I was also the dishwasher. I was also walking the dog, because my boss was a hunter. He got 4 dogs. I have to take care of the dogs every day. Go get the beer. Okay, that's my job at the beginning, So you have to do everything like that.
And the reality of things is, I don't get up in the morning and go down to the French place and, get some baguette with jam and have my latte, and then I go to the farmer's market and I pick out carrots and beets and things, and oh look, this will be great for dinner tonight, I'm going to make this. It's more of, I come in and I'm like, okay, who's not going to show up today? Who's calling out sick, who's going to be late, what's not going to make it on the truck that I really need. I'm going to get in ahi, that's this new product I'm trying out, on a Friday, and Thursday it came in bad, and I call the fish guy and I say, hey, this came in bad today, I need to send it back, and I need this much more for tomorrow. And then he calls me and says, texts me in the morning at 7 o'clock and goes, oh yeah, the vendor didn't fill our order, so none of that's coming in today. And I say, well, what did you send me then? And he says, well, nothing. And I said, okay, thanks. And he says, well, I can try and get you something. And I said, well, you know what, I've already taken care of it, because it's Friday and I'm going to sell 50 pounds of tuna, by 4 o'clock today. I can't deal with that. So that's more how my day goes.
Woman in kitchen isn't easy. It really isn't easy. I probably know more dick jokes than I would like to admit. I always, but Aaron would always say, man, dating you's got to be hard, because I know all the tricks. Men talk around me as if there's no woman present, and you just kind of have to have a thick skin about it. Also, I'm pretty little. I'm 4'9½", and I have to be able to lift a 50-pound sack of flour and not ask for help, and be able to scale walls because I don't want, sometimes asking for help, not like when you're first entering a kitchen, kind of makes you look a little bit weak, so you kind of have to earn your stripes, and get burned and get cut, and you gotta be tough about it.
Yeah, we just keep focused and pushing. We've never been too, we love media, we love what the media does for the restaurant and how busy it is. It's amazing, it's really amazing. But whenever it happens, we go back to in the kitchen and what else can we do? We can't focus too much on this, I tell the guys, can't focus too much on that, So we have, it's good to be humble.
It's also taste. I feel like I grew up with good food. I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily grow up with good food. My mom was an awesome baker and cook. And so I know what I'm looking for, when I taste something, and I will test a recipe over and over and over and change it until I'm satisfied.
And it's abundance. Abundance for us is important. Not like counting how many of this or that or this, or how much work we're doing, or if we go over the clock or whatever. This is the hospitality business, and we have to be number one. That's what we do.
I'll tell you the biggest thing now, you might not know this, but I'm a chef instructor. For a local culinary school. I've been doing that for about 10 years. And the number one thing I tell my students is when they first start cooking, they come in, they're very, scared, and they're very, this and this and that. They've been home cooks, or they've seen their mom cook or grandma cook. But I tell them, first thing, key, sharp knife. And we all know, a sharp knife, if you don't have a sharp knife, you're in big trouble. And the other thing is, a lot of people try to adhere to these, recipes, and they look at a recipe, for cooking a chicken like it's gospel. Okay, it says 8 minutes, I have to cook it for exactly 8 minutes, and they don't understand the variables. So what I try to teach everybody is just cook with your heart, cook with some feeling.
The way you look at it as cooking it's like a team sport, like basketball. You can have one superstar, but he can't lead you to the promised land as far as where you need to be in food. It takes great workers, and also the workers also have aspects and flavors that you probably miss, and that helps out as far as a chef. And a chef, the way I look at it as a chef is you never stop learning. The moment
But by using a schematic, we finally go into a rough draft, and from the rough draft we go into a final draft. But everything gets a design element. It has a floor, it has a structure, it has a ceiling to it. And all those are flavor components. Flavor components that belong on this level, flavor components that go all through the dish, and flavor components that float on the top of the dish like a roof. People tell me that there's an intensity of flavor in my food, but it has to do with the fact that we build it. We don't just put it on a plate, it's built.
Never really made a horrible meal where I could not eat it. There's been ingredients where I'm like, maybe that would be great, maybe this wouldn't. But I would just experiment. I just love to find stuff that I don't know what it is, and I cook with it. And I think that if you have that, if you just have that willing to just experiment, then I think that anybody could be a great chef.
The whole military kind of, because if you think about it, the way a kitchen, a traditional French kitchen was set up, the brigade system and all that stuff, brigade and all that stuff, was set up around a military hierarchy. It was based around the military. So that kind of hazing and stuff like that was kind of like boot camp. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it anymore. So now you get these kids who come out of culinary school and they go in these places and they just push people's buttons, think they're better than the chef, think they're better than this, stuff like that. And they suck. These guys come out of culinary school, I'm going to be the next Ferran Adria. It's like, you can't even sear a piece of fish, asshole.
Things. You can't be just a good cook. You have to be a good tactician. You have to be a good psychologist. You have to be a good financial person as well. You have to know so many things to be a good chef. If you can only cook, you can't be a great chef, because if you can't be profitable for your business, then you're not going to be a business.
I think that someone has to have an open mind and try and read and see and taste a lot, but mostly they need patience and perseverance. I think people expect to start working and become a rising star immediately. And it doesn't quite. There are a few people on television that works for, but 99% of the people, you need to be patient. You need to do things over and over and over, and to master the skills, and to just keep persevering, because there's a lot more down times than up times, and you need to be able to, when the cake doesn't rise or something gets burned, not get frustrated and just, start again. Keep going.